Hey everyone, Danielle here. I'm here with my husband Alex once again. We're playing Street Masters co-op. I will be playing the fighter Isabella. Not sure if it'll focus. There we go. So this is one of the fighters that comes in the Tide of Dragon expansion, which is a standalone expansion. And then Alex will be playing as, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but this is Jiro. So here's a quick look at Jiro's card. Unfortunately, Isabella does not come with a mini, but I will be using this one as my mini. Hopefully you can see that. And then Alice will be using this one. And we chose these spaces to spawn on. And that might be hard to see, but back here we do have a kind of circular token in place for Train, which is our boss that we're trying to defeat. So Train is part of the All Heaven gang, and so Train will be the one we're trying to beat throughout the game. And I already completed the setup. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the setup. I have other videos that go into detail, but Alex's first time playing is today, so I will be somewhat instructional. I'll point out some items on the board to start. So there are 5 loot boxes. They look like this. If you move through any of these spaces with a loot box, you gain a loot card, which we have the deck off camera. But if you move through any of these, you get a loot card that you can add to your play area, and you can play anytime. These are our objective tokens. They have 2 sides. This is the inactive side. This is the active side. So the outer ring is colored when it's active. But currently they always come in inactive. And we lose this game if there are ever if there are ever 3 activated objectives on the board. Okay? So right now we start off with 2, and Train, he will always try to go to these versus going to us to attack us. So we have to be able to stop him from activating it. To deactivate an active objective, we can attack it. It will require 3 per player, so 6 total damage to defeat an objective. And then it'll go from active to inactive, and then Train would have to go back and activate it again. So his mission is to activate at least 3, and we'll lose. So other areas of this specific stage, we're playing Sky High. There's going to be these fall spaces, and the cards will explain what will happen if we get into them. So throughout the game, we'll just be reading kind of the instructional text on the cards. We each have our fighter turn and enemy turn and stage turn reference card. So this will walk through everything we're going to do in this game. All right, so I think we'll just dive in. We have our decks. We shuffled them, and we'll just draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe there is a mulligan. I don't think you'll know what to keep and what not to keep. But I do want to point out that there are cards that are unique. Unique cards have this star icon on them to the right of its card name. And so only one of those cards can be placed out in your player area.
I got a star.
Yeah, I have a bunch in my hand. And so, yeah, just keep in mind that if you have one out already, you can't play another one. Most of those are going to be tactics. Tactic cards typically stay out. You place them in your player area in a row. And then right above your player area will be your threat area. And we'll each have our own threat area, just so you know. Okay. So I think, so this is my first time playing co-op, so hopefully I get the rules right and that there's no big differences. But fighter turn, it says, each fighter performs a fighter turn in an order the group's choosing. During your fighter turn, resolve each phase in the following order. Threat phase, refresh each card in your fighter play area, not your threat area. Resolve each phase in the following order. Oh, wait, sorry. And then draw and resolve 1 enemy card. Okay, so I guess I'll start the game and then you can see how it goes. All right. So threat phase, I have to draw an enemy card. An enemy card is the All Heaven Gang deck. I'll draw the first card. It is a big dragon. So we're going to place this Is it going to go towards me? No, I think it does stay out here. So we're going to grab a big dragon and these tokens. So if you want to grab these matching tokens and place it on this board while I grab its...
Tokens.
Yeah, these are the defense tokens.
Oh.
This is a kick, this is a punch, and this is a grapple. And they all come in with certain ones, a certain number of them. Yep. And as these enemies come out, I will be placing them in their colored bases. This way we know who they are. And they will spawn closest to the player who drew it. So I'm here in the closest spawn spot, which looks like this or this. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the same. So I'll put it right here. And that's where a big dragon will be spawning. They have 4 health and will roll 4 dice on their turn. So that's that, knowing that they're a threat. I think for my first turn, now we move on to the act phase. We can move up to 3 steps, do a card step and an action step. We do each of those 1 time. So a move step requires me to move, and I think I am going to move towards Big Dragon. So I'm going to move towards 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll move towards Train, actually. No, I do think I should move towards Big Dragon. 1, 2, 3. So I did my move for the turn. And then now I could do a card step, which is play a card from my hand. And I think I'll go ahead and do a Mea Lua Reversal. This is the card I'm going to be playing into my player area. So that's my card step. Now I do my action step. I can move more spaces. I could gain random defense tokens, and I think I'll gain random defense tokens since I don't have any. I'm going to roll 2 of these enemy dice, and these enemy dice will tell me which random tokens I'll be getting. I'll be getting 2 kicks. 1, 2. And that concludes my turn. If I had any exhaust keywords, I could do that at any time, even on another person's turn, I believe. And then the feint I could also do. But I'm going to just leave it at that and do my react phase. So from left to right, activate each card in your threat area by resolving its activate ability. So actually, I do think this minion does come into my player area. Let me just double check what happens there. Because that's the enemy. We'll go ahead and just double check. So when we draw a card, enemy cards, there are 4 types of enemy cards. Okay. Each enemy character cards are a special type of enemy card that has specific rules governing them. The 2 standard types of enemy character cards are boss and minion. If a minion card enters play outside of a player's threat phase, unless otherwise specified. Okay, so yes, it does come into my threat area. My mistake. So I will have it go into my area, and I will activate Big Dragon. So whenever it is their turn, we look at the activate. It says this enemy advances 3 spaces towards the nearest fighter. So it's going to advance 1 space to me. If a fighter suffers damage during this attack, all fighters adjacent to that fighter suffer 1 general damage. If this enemy dealt no damage during its activation, gain 1 random defense token. All right, so it's going to roll 4 dice. And hopefully it's a couple of kicks. All right, so 1 kick means I could block with a kick defense token. I flip it over, it becomes a power. Oops. This needs to be flipped to the other side. It's important that we actually are on the side that has a number on it because that means we're charged up. So this has a number 6 on it. So this should be the face up side. And the number of power is the number of power you need to flip over your character to its more powerful charged up side. And then I'm taking 3 damage, which I'll track with dice. Okay. So that is it for the react phase. Then I draw a card. I got a scorpion kick attack card, and then I will pass it to the next fighter.
Is that me?
Yep. So you have to draw an enemy card during the threat phase. Yep. Yep, draw one card.
I put in my threat area?
Yes, so that is Reina.
Reina.
Also yellow. Okay. Reina will spawn closest to you, which will be here. So Reina will come in with how many kicks? 2?
Oh.
2 kick tokens and 1 grapple. All right. And then you just go ahead and do your act phase. Yep.
You may perform each of the following steps in an order of your choosing. Move card action. Okay, I could immediately move to, well, I think I should prep.
Yeah, so you can play 1 card per turn. So that would be the card you play.
I play Make My Own Luck. This. I'll move away because I want to attack first. So 1, 2.
You can only attack people that are near you or within a specific range that's specified on your card.
Oh, she could attack 2 spaces. I can move as far as I can.
Oh, okay.
And I could resolve a card action. So I don't have an action now.
You can always resolve the action on your character card as your action step. Or you could do any of the listed items. So you can sprint, you can move more. You could gain defense tokens.
Actually, in that case, I actually want to go up to her.
Okay.
So I could attack immediately.
So that's your move?
1, 2, 3, move.
Okay.
Card step, played Make My Own Luck.
Action step.
Action step, I'll use my card action. Attack 2 red.
Okay, so roll 2 red dice. And we'll talk through what happens here as your first battle.
This says, I may also discard 1 card to resolve the improvise effect of a card you control.
Yep, it's lots of good combos. So you could do that after your attack, right? You do things in the order it's listed. Okay. Yep. Okay. Shield and a hit. So what happens when you do a shield? You resolve a shield by looking at the type of attack you just did. So look at your card, and there's an icon. It's a kick. So you gain a kick defense token onto your character. This hit will do a kick to Reina. If she has any kick tokens, you discard the token. It blocks that 1 kick. And that's it.
Okay.
All right. Resolve the rest of that effect if you want to.
Yeah, I will discard.
Okay.
Discard a card, resolve the improvise effect. So this one is gain 2 random defense tokens.
Okay. So you always roll the white dice, which is full of defense token icons, and you gain those that you roll. Nice. So punch and a kick. Yep. Okay.
This guy looks like Jackie Chan.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, his card, is about improvisation. That's what he does in his movies.
Oh, interesting. Maybe.
Like he's literally holding a ladder using it as a weapon. That's Jackie Chan.
Oh. Good to know. All right. So now we get into your react phase. So you have 1 in your threat area. So you'll just go ahead and read the activate. And just so you know, if you have more than 1 card, you always go from left to right.
She attacks a fighter within 2 spaces. How do they attack me?
Yep. So you look at how many dice they roll. You grab that many white dice. And you just roll. And it goes the same for you. the icon matches something you have as a defense token, you flip it over as a power and block that. Three punches. And you have 1 punch to block, so flip it over and you gain 1 power. And you take 2 damage, which you could track with the dice. Okay. Anything else our card says?
Nope.
Okay. So now you get to draw your card.
Okay.
All right, so we'll flip over. And now it's the enemy turn. The group activates each card in the enemy play area from left to right. This is the enemy play area, which is the top row. So we'll go ahead and read the activate for that.
Train, the activative train.
Yes.
Train attacks targeting each fighter adjacent to him. If unable to attack, place 1 power on this card.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what token you choose, you just place a power on the card. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so we look at the next card. It says activate.
If there is at least 3 power on Train, he discards each power from his card to deal each fighter 3 general damage. Otherwise, Train gains 1 random defense token for each power he has.
Yep, he has 1 power, so we'll roll 1 die. All right, he'll gain a kick. All right. Okay, so we've resolved the enemy. Now we move on to the stage, which is the second row. Again, left to right, we resolve.
So
right
what do I
here.
read? Oh. The boss moves 4 spaces towards the nearest inactive objective. Then the boss flips an inactive objective within 1 space of them to its active side.
How many spaces again?
4.
1, 2, 3. Didn't even have to move more than that. The yellow objective is now activated. Again, if there are 3 total activated objective tokens on the map, we lose instantly. All right, and then the next step of the stage turn is to draw a stage card. Yep, and we resolve it. Another objective. Oh, man. So now we have to look for where it is, which is right here. We place it inactive side up. And now, end phase, each fighter flips their turn card to its fighter turn side. Do you want to go first? We get to decide which order every time.
You can go.
Okay. So I will take my turn. I don't have anything to refresh. And then I'll draw my enemy card. Reina comes in with 2 kicks.
It's the same as me.
Yep. 2 kicks. And 1 grapple. So let me grab Reina, put her on a blue. And then the spawn that's closest to me is right behind Big Dragon. All right, so this is going to be tough. I do want to attack Big Dragon for sure. So I'm going to play Scorpion Kick. So Scorpion Kick says attack 2, you may discard 1 card from the top of your deck to treat all damage from this attack as direct damage. And I'll go ahead and do that. So discard a card. It's an attack card. If it was an offbeat card, I would take 1 general damage, but luckily it wasn't. So this deck is pretty interesting. It's kind of like a push your luck game. There's a lot of like discard your card to gain something else, like a boost. But if there's a keyword called offbeat, I take a damage, which sucks. But it's kind of like, you know. Oh, anyway, so I target Big Dragon. I'll attack with 2 dice, and then it'll be direct damage no matter what I roll. And it's 2, so it's going to take 2 damage no matter what. And it needs 2 more to be defeated. I'll go ahead and do my action on my card, Isabella card. It says Act 2, you may discard 1 card from the top of your deck to add +1. I'll go ahead and do that. And it is not an offbeat, so I get to roll 3 dice at no penalty, except I had to discard a card. Nice. So I rolled a critical. So when you roll a critical, you always get to roll an additional die. So let's see what I get. Okay, 1, 2, more than enough. But this is not going to be all direct damage. Let's make sure. So this is a kick attack. They have no kick token, so they will take all the damage and they are dead.
Nice.
So whenever you defeat a minion, you remove them from the board. This gets discarded, but what also happens is, as a reward, you gain loot. So you gain a loot. And I got Kung Fu Tea. During your turn, discard this card to play a card. So this lets you play an additional card because you can only play one card during your turn. My final action will be to move. So knowing that Reina is going to advance to me, I don't think there's much I can do. So I'm just going to actually move closer, 1, 2, 3, and land on a loot token and gain another loot card. Roast Duck, my favorite. During your turn, you may discard this card to heal 2 damage from any fighter. So these are my yummy looking loot. I have Kung Fu Tea and Roast Duck right now. And that concludes my act phase. So react happens. So again, Reina is activated. This enemy advances 3 spaces toward the nearest fighter, then attacks the fighter within 2 spaces of them. It's going to attack with 3 dice. So grab the 3 dice. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so I have 1 kick, which will be blocked, and then a punch and a grapple, which I'll have to take the damage for. I'm at 5 damage out of 17. Now I get to draw a card. I got Cuela de Rins, and I think I'll end my turn there.
Okay. Wait, so I have a question.
Okay.
What does exhaust mean?
Exhaust means you can only do that action once and the card is exhausted. So really you can't do it again. Exhaust the card.
How is that different than like action? Like why the difference? Because I could only do 1 action anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question. Maybe somebody in the comments will know. I can always find out after. But you could always do exhaust anytime. So you could do it on my turn if you wanted to, or anybody's turn. Action you can only do on your turn. Does
exhaust count as a step?
No, it's outside of everything. You could always do exhaust.
So I should do it every
always,
turn?
Yes, you should always exhaust.
Oh my god.
Every turn, yes.
Can I pretend I
Yeah,
did?
go ahead. Draw a card.
So I actually draw 2 cards.
No, you just 1. You don't draw an extra card right now. Oh, you're doing now?
Yeah.
You're doing it now?
From my last turn, I could have done these 2
both of them?
exhausts.
Yes, you should have done both of them.
And
Correct.
these are both draw 1 card.
Correct, yes.
So I just drew 2 cards. And more of these. All right, so actually now
draw an enemy
phase,
card.
I have to
Yes.
draw an enemy card. Big dragon.
Okay.
Blue.
All right. Where are you? You're gonna be right there.
Where
and the spawn is here, so it has to go into an adjacent spot. Where do you want it? Right here? Okay.
Okay.
I think you got 3 kicks wrong. That's 3 grapple. Should be the yellows. That could matter when you roll, so it's important.
Right, I'll move 3 spaces, so I will get this loot.
Okay. Let's see what you get. Read it.
I got, manhua. Discard this card before an attack to gain 1 defense token from the target. So I could steal. I could steal their defense token. Okay, card step. Play 1 card.
Just so you know, you could do it in any order. You can move as your last step.
Wait, what is feint?
Feint means you discard the card, and then you do the action. So you
from my hand?
Tactic? No, it's from you have to have it played out.
Oh.
Yeah, so feint is basically you're sacrificing the use of that card on any future turns.
I see.
It's very strategic. You really do have to know when you're going to do something.
Very combo-y.
Yeah.
This one.
That deck is really good with the improvise. Yep.
Right, I will play Cleaning Up. Before each of your attacks, you may discard one card to gain +1 red die. Improvise attack. 1 red die dealing direct damage.
Yep. So there's a couple of different damages. Direct damage means it bypasses all any defense tokens. General damage means they can block with tokens if they want.
I see.
Yep.
Any token.
You as a fighter, they will only block if it matches the attack type. So general damage would typically only be done to us, but for them, we get to choose which ones for them. There's no like science to how they choose if it's general damage.
One of my cards
for them.
lets me deal general damage.
You can, but if they have a token, they will use it.
Okay.
Yep. We don't have to though. That's what I'm trying to explain. We don't have to use a token if we don't want to.
Mm-hmm. All right, I will use my card Action. Attack.
Okay.
2 red dice.
Reina, I guess.
Yes.
Do you get to add any? Are you going to do that?
Yeah, I'll discard 1. Well, didn't you say I have to do it after I attack?
No, what does your tactic say?
Oh, before each of my attacks.
Yes, it says before, right? So you do have to plan ahead because it tells you to roll an extra. But also, did you want to draw your cards first this turn? Your exhausts?
Can I activate a card action if the card is exhausted?
I believe so, yeah. It's independent of it.
Right.
Well, make sure that's the card you wanted to discard, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
All right, 3. Hit critical.
Ooh. Roll an extra red die. Nice. 4 hits. Okay. So
4
what is
low
this? Kicks. Okay. So it takes 3 damage. Doesn't gain power, so 3 damage out of 5. Almost done.
Then I may discard 1 card to resolve the improvise effect. I will discard random card. Another Cleaning Up.
Mm-hmm.
I will resolve the Cleaning Up improvise effect. Attack 1 red die, dealing direct damage.
Okay. To who? Reina.
Reina. Shield.
Okay. So what was the attack?
Low kick. But what does shield mean?
It was a low kick. It said that?
It just says attack.
Yeah, so I think you get to choose any shield, any defense token. So you didn't do a damage. You end up gaining a defense token.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But it says before any attack on that card, right? You could have discarded another card to add a die if you want. I'll let you roll that back if you want.
Before each of your attacks.
Yeah, that's an attack. So go ahead and discard and roll 1 more die in addition to that.
Okay.
Okay, 1 more die. So you have a shield so far. Ooh, you got to roll 1 more. Hopefully it's another hit, and then Reina will be dead, hopefully.
Exactly. Yes.
Nice, okay. So I think that's how it works. We'll say it does.
Yeah, direct damage.
Oh, I missed that part, so you're good. Yeah, it definitely gets hit. So Reina will leave the map. We'll discard that card, and you get a loot. Very nice.
Ooh, egg tart.
Ooh, yummy.
At any time, you may discard this card to move up to 3 spaces.
Yum, I love egg tarts. Okay. All right, so I think you did everything you could. Any exhaust left or feints you want to do before you move on to the next phase?
No.
Okay, react phase.
Big Dragon. This enemy advances 3 spaces towards the nearest fighter and attacks. If a fighter suffers damage during this attack, all fighters adjacent to that fighter suffer 1 general damage. If this enemy dealt no damage during its activation, it gains 1 random defense token.
Okay, sounds good. So go ahead and roll 4 enemy dice. Okay, looks like you block both kicks and gain the power.
Kicks. And then just 2 damage.
Yep. Nice.
I have 4 damage on me. Draw phase, draw 1 card.
Okay. So now we are at the enemy phase, enemy turn. So we'll activate train. So train is going to move 4 spaces to the closest inactive. 1, 2, 3. It's going to flip over. And then, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. That's the stage. Let's see what train says. Can you remind me?
Train attacks, targeting each fighter adjacent to him. If unable to attack, place
Gain
1 power.
Okay. And then Inhuman Resolve is going to fire off only at 3. So it's going to roll 2 dice, for 1 for each power, and gain those defense tokens, 2 grapples. All right. And then now we go to the stage. And then where I got ahead of myself is train is going to move 4 spaces to the closest. Activate it. Now there's 2 active ones. It will be able to get to this one. So we could lose at the end of the next round if we don't deactivate one of these objective tokens. And you need 6 damage.
Oh, 6, I forgot.
Which is crazy.
So they never leave the field.
They do
just
not.
Flip
they
between
stay
active
there.
and
Yes,
deactivate.
exactly. Yes. So we need to figure out what we're going to do there because this doesn't look great. Okay, so now we draw a card. Sky High card.
I was just reading the stage rule.
Oh.
The reinforcements event.
Oh no.
Each figure within 3 spaces of the H moves 2 spaces away from the H.
Okay. 1, 2.
Then each fighter searches the enemy deck or discard pile for a minion card and draws it. Each fighter.
Yeah, that's me.
Each fighter searches the enemy deck or discard pile for a minion and draws it.
Okay, I'm going to choose one with low health. Oh, the enemy.
The enemy deck or discard pile.
So right now we have Reyna and Big Dragon. And yeah, I'm going to choose...
Why would you choose an enemy card?
It said you have to. That's what you just said, right?
You could search the enemy deck or discard pile.
Yeah, so... Do you like these?
I thought it meant like our discard pile.
You're not going to find a minion in your discard pile. Minions are only in the enemy deck.
I see.
So I'm going to choose... do I want another Reyna? They roll only 3 dice. That's why I'm looking at it. Yeah, I think I'll just choose this Reyna. And then shuffle this deck once you're done. And then it's going to come in with 2 kicks. No, you got to look at it. 2 kicks and then 1 grapple. And then it's going to come in adjacent to... Yeah, it's going to come in right next to the other Reyna.
Why not do Reyna?
Okay. Purple Reyna. The first purple one. Where are you? Okay, where do you want it to come in? You got a choice. There has to be a space adjacent to the spawn spot. Okay. All right. So that was the stage turn. Now we fight. You want to go first, or our goal this round together has to be to take down at least one of the active. So it's either the yellow or the blue.
I mean, easiest for me would be the green then. By the time I could...
The green you can't.
Well, he's going to reach the green.
It doesn't matter.
Time.
He will... What will you... do at the green?
Next turn, I'll deactivate the green.
Okay. Well, then that makes me the only option to deactivate one this round. If one objective is not deactivated this turn, we will lose.
I thought it was 4.
No, it's 3.
Oh, it's 3?
Isn't it 3? If there are ever 3 active objectives in play, the players lose.
Oh.
So we need to do 6 damage collectively. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to put the placement back here because it's blocking my way.
I'm trying to get to the blue.
Yeah, the blue is where I'm going to go.
1, 2, 3. Right, move.
Wait, I'm not going to make it unless I have a card that lets me move.
Well, you could do move step, and then action step is sprint action.
And then
move
play
6.
a card to attack? Okay.
But wait, I have to draw and resolve the enemy card.
Yes, you do. You're going first? Okay.
Big dragon.
Okay. Green.
Man.
Coming in where?
Right here.
Okay. And 3 grapple. Ooh, okay.
So move 1, 2, 3. Sprint 1, 2, 3. Card step.
You're gonna have to do a big attack. Look at your loot too.
Let me exhaust my 2 cards, so I draw 2 cards.
Okay.
I could only deal 2.
I mean, you could roll critical. Well, you could. It's an attack, right? So you could always discard to add another.
Actually,
don't forget to do your exhaust.
I will. Instead of using a sprint action, I'll use my egg tart.
Okay, makes sense.
To move the 3 spaces.
And then you can do an action.
So now I have a card step or a card action.
Yes.
I will do my card action.
Attack.
Over here, attack 2.
Are you going to discard a card?
But before I attack, I'll discard a card.
Yep.
To gain 1 red. So I will roll 3 red. 3 hits.
Nice. So that's 3 damage on the blue.
And then I may discard 1 card to resolve the improvise effect of a card I control. So I will... Can you just kill it easy, or should I deal as much damage as I can?
I would say deal as much as you can.
Okay. Improvise attack.
Since you're there.
I could deal like 2 damage, but then it's just 1 HP left.
That's silly because I had to do 2 moves to get there. So can you do an extra? You could discard a card maybe to do an extra die.
Yeah, that's the 5.
Oh, that is 5? Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Well, if that's all you can do, up to you. I'll definitely at least do a damage. Hopefully, if my dice roll. Not going to say definitely, actually. I don't know if that's the case.
Wait, how do you deal damage?
I'm going to have to play an attack card. Or an action.
Okay. So, I'll just deal 1 more damage.
That's
fine. So you just need to deal 2. And that's it.
Okay, just 2. All right. If I don't, then we lose. But okay.
Okay, so should I just deal 2 more then? And you only need to deal 1?
You decide. Did this come in with anything or no?
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting.
1 grapple, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just
discard
1 card
to roll 2. Direct
roll
damage,
2.
right? Okay.
Hopefully I don't roll a shield though.
Oh yeah, I know. We're counting on this. Ah, no. 1 more damage. And you get of your choice, you get something. They don't hit types, so it's just random. Yeah, there's no strategy there. Put it on your card. Yep. Okay. And then now you could do your react phase if you're done. Do you do all your exhausts that you want to do? But again, you could do that anytime.
Yeah, I've already done it.
Okay.
All right, react.
Oh no.
Big dragon. Blue?
Yep. Look at the color. Yep.
Oh.
It's going to move towards you, right?
Yeah, it's already there. All right, so it attacks me.
What? You're here.
For some reason, I thought I was like...
No. I was like, what?
All right, 1, 2, 3.
It didn't attack, so what does it do now? Gain something?
Gains 1 random defense
Yeah.
token. Grapple.
Grapple, wow. Stacking up on that. All right, next.
Purple Reina. This advances 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. It attacks 3 white. Grapple, kick. Block 1 kick. And I get dealt 2 damage, so I'm at 6 total damage. And then green. 1, 2, 3. Gains a random defense token. Punch.
That's not the one. Okay. Nice. Then you draw a card. Then it's my turn. All right. So I got to make my way here. I got to do a move. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to have to do a sprint action to move up to this. And now all I have left that I can do is a card stuff. And this is the only action I could possibly do. Attack, I mean. It's a punch. Attack 2. So I roll 2 dice. I may discard 1 from the top of my deck to target 1 additional enemy, but I can't because I'm not adjacent to any other one. So I'm not going to do that. Let's see what I get. I hope I get damage. I need 2. If I don't get the 2 damage, we're going to lose.
And that's the end of the video.
That'll be it. That'll be it. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
I'm going to roll
that's
the
it.
extra die in case I get a shield.
Oh, yeah. Smart.
Another.
Wow.
Not that that matters.
It can matter.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I got my, what is this? A punch. And we did now deactivate the blue one. Just for now. All right. So that is my act phase. And then react phase, Reina's going to pummel me. Reina's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And then it says it's going to roll 3 attack dice. All right. 2 kicks and a grapple, which I can't block any of those. So I'm going to be at 8 damage. Okay. And then the other Reina is going to attack, advancing 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Rolling 3 dice. 2 grapple and a punch. I get to block a punch, taking 2 more damage. I'm at 10 out of 17. I'll draw my card. You know what? I forgot to draw an enemy card. Gotta do that. Did you draw one?
Yes.
Oh no. Body of Steel. If Train has less than 6 defense tokens, he gains 2 random defense tokens. So this is a tactic. So that's what will happen during their turn. All right. So now I'm good. I think I drew my card, right? Yeah. And that's it. Now we flip and we do the enemy. So we do have to activate from left to right. So Train's going to activate.
Train attacks. If he's unable to attack, place 1 power on this card. If there is at least 3 power on Train, which yes he has, he discards each power from his card to deal each fighter 3 general damage.
Okay, I don't have blocks.
Otherwise, Train...
yeah, so it's going to remove 3 power. And we take 3 damage.
Oh boy. No, I can't block any.
You can't either. So I am at 13 out of 17 damage.
This game is hard.
No, it is hard. I know. I don't think I really won unless I kind of broke some rules, probably. All right, so did we do the Body of Steel yet? No, we didn't do Inhuman Resolve yet. Oh, no, that was...
We
Okay.
did.
If Train has less than 6 defense tokens, he gains 2 random. So he gains 2 random. I'll roll for that. A punch and a kick. All right. Moving on to the stage, left to right. So Train is going to move to the
Wait, do I
blue.
draw a stage?
Not yet.
Okay.
So we'll move here. It activates. So once again, we're in the
Damn.
same spot. And yes, now they do draw that card.
Doves event. Each figure is dealt 2 general damage. If a minion is defeated this way, a loot card is not drawn. Then flip an inactive objective token to its active side.
Oh no, we lose!
What?
Oh no! That was a terrible card draw. I
anticlimactic.
know. That sucks. Good game. Well, this was Alex's first Street Masters experience. I think it's a really fun co-op game because you really do feel like you're playing together and you're on this stage together. We really didn't get to experience much of the fall space triggers, but still pretty fun. I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
It
it's
feels
fun.
tactical.
Yes, very.
Just the difficulty seems...
It's challenging, yeah.
It just feels extra challenging. But I'm not sure if that's because I haven't played this before.
No, I think you
Maybe
really,
there's
you did
something.
exhaust, I think. You played optimally, I think. Especially with improvise and exhaust. Unfortunately, I think I had a really slow turn. I mean, the whole game, I only had 1 tactic out because I had to focus on attacking. And I was almost dead. I had 13 damage, which is not great. I also never even got to power up.
Yeah, I feel
Neither
like
did you. So I feel like we didn't make a lot of
our
progress.
character growth is
Yeah,
way
it was
slower
slow.
compared to the speed at which the boss is able to complete the objectives.
Right.
Literally, it's like each turn he could activate an objective, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the stage is not big. So there's really, in my opinion, no way for us to stop Train from getting to the next objective because he just has to be next to it. And that's it. And he gets to move 4 spaces. We only get to move 3. So yeah, it's definitely challenging. There's one other map called a Market Crash, which I don't know if that's any better for co-op or in general. But I'm excited to hopefully get more Street Masters content. Obviously, there's a ton more stages if you get other content. And this is just one of the 2 that comes with Tide of the Dragon. But yeah, this was still fun, even though we lost. And if you're interested in watching more co-op games of Street Masters, let us know. There's a lot of fighters we could try out that could be a better match for a Train. I think it's important to also understand Train's deck and also the stage deck, and then figure out which fighter we can play against those, that combination. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. A like or a comment is also always appreciated. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.